Hello and welcome back. NaNoWriMo is over and now it's time to put your manuscripts away, walk away from them. I know it's going to be hard. You're going to want to go back in and put in quotation marks and do some punctuation before you forget, and just print it out and walk away. Put it under your bed, put it in the closet, put it in your desk drawer, but let it ferment for a month. When we come back in January, we'll start going over some edits. Now, what I advise in the month of December, besides having a fabulous holiday with your family and your different friends, is to look at different ways to edit. We're going to be covering a couple of them through the videos. The first thing I would suggest, if you're a pantser like I am, you now know where your story is going. You know where it begins, you know where it ends. Now what I suggest is you use the 3-act system. So your book has 3 acts. Your first is setting it up, your first act, and that might be, I don't know, 9 chapters. And then your second act, that's going to be hopefully not a saggy middle, but the trial and error of your main character. And then the third act, which is probably somewhere around chapter 20, maybe 18, you'll have the action and resolution. It's where everything's all tied up in a nice neat bow. Now I can hear some of you say, oh, but I write a series. I'm going to get to that. So your first act, you want to do the same with it that you did with your book. You want to have a setup, your conflict, and this is where the big picture differs. Then you want to have a cliffhanger so that your reader wants to turn to the next page. You want to do the setup, the conflict, and cliffhanger for Acts 2, because you want them to set up and take hold of that book and turn to the next page. You don't want them going, oh, okay, well, I can maybe guess what continues and then lay it down and never come back. The third act, you have the setup for that act. You have the conflict, the coming about, where your main character grows and resolves things and becomes determined to win the battles that they have experienced throughout Act 1 and 2. But at the end, you want to tie it up. You want the main character to tie up all the loose ends as part of the big picture. Okay, we've got that. We've got the book, the act. And then we've taken each one of the acts and done the same thing. Now, you want to take each chapter and do the same thing. You want to have a setup for that chapter. You want to have a conflict so you don't have any saggy middles. And then you want to have a cliffhanger so that they want to turn to the next chapter and read it, and so forth. Editing is not done overnight. Can't be done. I don't care who you are. You can find self-published authors, indie authors, who have fabulous editing. It wasn't because they went through their story once or twice and then uploaded it. Nope. They did their due diligence. Now, when you read a story and you're going, oh my, I can't get through here because of the typos, because none of it is tying together. I can't see where this main character is growing. Those are the indie authors that did not do their due diligence. And when their book doesn't sell and they can't afford to give a copy to the library, you gotta wonder, what did they want to accomplish with that book? Did they want to accomplish the fact that I'm a published author? Okay, they're done. They arrived at their conclusion. Or did they want to send a message? Did they really want to tell a story? If you're one of those writers that really want to tell a story and have readers come back and want more of your stories, do your due diligence. Let your book sit and ferment. Get some distance away from it so that when you go back, you can bleed all over it with a red pen. And that will be in the next video. Stay creative.